Hey everyone, and welcome to Dem Guys, the podcast where we are too cheap and lazy to get a real theme song. So,
What? I thought you had a theme song last time.
No, last time I made it with my mouth.
You did. Yeah, and the time before that, but this time,
Yes,
you didn't do any
The previous two times were examples of the too cheap, and this time is an example of the too lazy.
exactly.
Yes, he's too lazy to even do the doo-doos this time. That's sad.
I want a real theme.
Well, you've gotten lazy in your old age. Drew.
It can be a birthday gift to me from you. Get me a theme for this podcast.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
But if you guys didn't know, it's Drew Sutter, the 43's birthday today. Happy birthday, Drew.
Yeah, I guess we should probably just go over who's here. As usual, it's me, Drew, and then...
Slash.
And Snowshoe.
Indeed.
There we go. Good job. Okay, so we're just gonna jump right into what games we've been playing. Slash.
It's been the basic stuff for me, doing the Minecraft, BBFS. Also, PlayMindcrack is in open beta.
Yeah.
So cheapskates like me that don't pay for Patreon can play on there now.
Is it technically still beta?
It says open beta on the login, like the server list in the
Does
client.
it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I've been playing that. I've been that was my first exposure to Dwarves vs. Zombies, which Drew had talked about previously, and I had seen Rob try to teach Zisto how to play it in a couple of videos, which was ridiculous and didn't really convey to me how the game worked at all. But once I got into a game or two, I got a better understanding of it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's my favorite game mode, I think, on there right now. The King of the Golden Monocle is just too freaking crazy.
King of the Golden Monocle.
It's too freaking crazy for me. I can't.
Man, that game.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I can't handle the tooltips on that game.
Yeah, they're huge.
I think we talked about it.
Yep.
But it's like, I mean, you get 3 weapons every time you respawn, 3 brand new weapons, and maybe you've seen one of them before, and you hover over it, and if you don't have your window, like, completely maximized, it's just, like, flying off the screen. You can only read half the tooltip, and you're like, whatever, I guess I'll just go hit someone with a spoon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it feels to me very much like, say, Mortal Kombat, where, there are all sorts of, key combos that you can press to try to achieve certain effects and whatever, and there's different left and right click things on the different items that you can achieve different effects, but you can also probably do pretty decently just randomly spamming different buttons on different tooltip items and, not really having a strategy. So, as a result, I don't end up playing that one too much. Every once in a while, I go in there for a diversion.
Have you played Barnyard Blitz yet?
I have, and that one's weird too. I don't enjoy it quite as much as I think I could.
I haven't actually been on PlayMindcrack since it went into open beta instead of, I guess, patron beta or whatever.
Right.
But now that there's a lot more people playing it, I'm definitely wanting to get into that.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I've heard a lot of people really like it.
Yeah, I don't understand enough of it. Like, I watched the little promo video that they did, but like I don't process information well in that form. Like on PlayMindcrack.com, under their games heading, they have a link that fully describes Dwarves vs. Zombies, but the other games are still, just gray text. You can't click on them to get to, details.
That's because they just took all that information off the Bruce's Gym site, which was what was currently previously hosting Dwarves vs. Zombies.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured too. So, without having like something to read and process that way, I don't have a good understanding of the Barnyard Blitz thing. Like, I kind of get the idea that you can somehow take control of different plots of land, but I haven't really figured out how that works, and it all just seems like a very wild, messed up ride when you log in to try and play that game. So, and survival games, I actually got to second place in a game that I played on there at one point, which surprised the heck out of me. I didn't even realize I was doing that well until I went to try to enchant something, or I guess throw a book on something at one of those central like beacon sites with the crafting tables and everything. And as I'm standing there, the last guy just ran up and smacked me once over the head with a sword and again killed me. And when I died, and it said so and so won. I was like, oh wow, it was just the two of us left, I guess.
Well, I probably should have been a little bit more alert than I was.
Exactly. But actually, my favorite thing to do at the survival games isn't even playing the game. I like using the jumper pads to try and get to the very top of the survival games like sign that hangs over the portal. Yeah, like in the lobby.
Yeah,
I like getting up there.
The jumper things are so much fun.
Well, and like sometimes you run into other people that also know like are able to get themselves up there. You know, because you have to get like the right angle, and it's tricky to get up on top of it.
Yeah, it's tough. I tried for like 30 minutes one time.
It's tough. It can be really difficult. And what I really enjoy is whenever you get some other people in the lobby that also try to get up to the top of the sign. Now all of a sudden we have a real use for throwing the coins at each other. Because you can knock people off because the coins do
nice.
knockback, so you can actually knock people off of the sign, and then they have to try and pad back up. So that's like an unintentional mini game that's in the lobby that I actually quite enjoy.
That's intense. Just throwing coins at people jumping. So they haven't started UHC yet, correct?
I don't think so. I mean, I had looked around where the monument gets built, and depending on which like lobby you're in, it's a different avatar that is the statue, it seems.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like sometimes I log in, it's like Santa Paws, and sometimes I log in, it's somebody else, and it's not. It seems to rotate through a couple of different Minecraft avatars, so it's not like completely random when you log in. Like we're just gonna pick this guy for right now. But there's no information over there on like sign up or time of day or anything like that. Like I don't think that is quite in place yet.
See, I think that's when it's going to get really intense. That's when I'm going to start really wanting to do it. And I mean, you have to have a certain amount of coins to actually sign up, so it kind of motivates me to go try to get some more.
Yeah.
But so many people are already so far ahead of me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dwarves vs. Zombies is a great game mode for getting lots of the XP, however the XP is used, and the loot seems to be pretty good coming onto those as well, especially if you stick around for the entire game. If you don't log out, before the shrine falls, then whenever you whenever it says you can hold shift to go back, you tend to get a lot more stuff that way. And plus, apparently there's some sort of coward point system that if you leave a DVZ game early, it increases your chances next time of being plagued instead of being a dwarf. So,
which you can actually see. That's one of my favorite parts of this, is that they brought that. Didn't they have a stat system on Bruce's gym that they brought over? And the stat system on PlayMindcrack is really cool. You can see all your stats. I like that. Yeah.
Other than the Minecraft stuff, I did spend some time in the last couple of weeks sort of catching up in Kerbal Space Program. The 0.23 release came out, and they handled the 0.22 was the first one to have science, which is sort of the XP system.
Science.
Yeah, for Kerbal Space Program, your missions can earn you science, and then with science you unlock future technologies that you can build better rockets with. And they redid the system a little bit because they were finding people were able to spam science experiments too much to try and advance early on. Like for example, you could do an experiment and you could transmit your results and it would reset the experiment, and then you could just do the experiment again. Like you didn't even have to leave the launch pad necessarily, and it wouldn't earn you as much XP. But if you just spam that over and over again, you could get a pretty decent amount of science just by running these experiments over and over again. So they changed it up a little bit. So now you have to whenever you transmit your data, the device that provided that data becomes inoperable, so you can't use it again on the mission. And that makes it a little bit more difficult to gain science. And they added a couple of science-related items to the game as well. So I wanted to try to get back to the same technology level I was at before, but earning the science in the 0.23 way, so that I wasn't, sort of cheating my way forward, I guess.
Yeah.
And I've finally gotten to that point. And then I did a foray into space planes briefly, which I think is, I don't think of that.
I foray into space planes every once in a while, I'm just saying.
It's a natural, curiosity. Everyone experiences it at some point in their lives.
Wake up this morning and I want to go fly a space plane.
But I think that video is coming out soon if it's not already on my channel. But it did not go well. Jebediah Kerman does not construct planes nearly as well as he constructs rockets, and he's not the best at constructing rockets in general. So
I just wanted to say, not being a KSP player, you said space planes, and I was picturing like the planes of outer space, like a landscape,
like the rain in Spain falls mainly on the space plane.
Yeah, I got it now, but I was just like, I was just picturing like I don't know.
But yeah, that's been it for me for games. What about you, Snow?
I don't ever play any games, so I don't even know why I'm on this podcast. No, actually, I played a couple games since the last time we recorded. We already talked about PlayMindcrack, so it's kind of jumping in there with you, which is good. Minecraft, I did my Christmas episode where I gave away some awesome gifts and whatnot. I thought that was fun. I haven't done that yet. I hadn't given any giveaways away. What? Given away any giveaways on my channel until this Christmas episode. So I really liked that. That was a lot of fun. I may do that in the future. And then I recorded a new VBFS yesterday, and I finally made a cow farm. It's in my automatic cow farm. It took me so long to get a design I wanted, so I can cross that off my Minecraft bucket list.
Cool.
And then today, I started recording more of The Last of Us. I'm not going to say too much about it yet. Probably get into it a little bit later in the podcast. But I actually started that series the day that it came out. The game came out. I was really excited for it. And I didn't have the proper equipment to record in good quality. So we're starting over. Yep.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that's all I've played. I played a whole lot though, man. Oh no, I completely forgot. I played a new map called the Puzzle Cube, created by a guy named Time Traveler. I played that with the Q Magnet, who's the creator of Diversity and the Complex, and we had a lot of fun playing that. That one, man, we spent so much time one night playing that stupid thing. There's a puzzle in there that's just like, it'll make your brain go in flames. And then today I actually finished the Code 3. So that'll be done. Yeah. And then some other stuff. But I think that's all on the back burner right now. I have so much stuff yet to come out. I've recorded so much and I haven't put it up yet. But.
Now, I can't help but notice, talking about some of the Q-Magnet type stuff that you've been doing, that after you played Diversity and started playing the Code 3, that Generic ended up playing Diversity with BOO and it just started a Code 3 series himself.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed that too. And I want to put this out there. Generic B is an avid listener of our podcast, if you guys didn't know. And, actually he's probably not, but whatever. Generic, you are riding my coattails. I would like you to stop right now.
Stop getting rich and famous off a snowshoe.
Yes, I am tired of it. I feel your boot print on the top of my head, and I am not liking it. So I would really appreciate if you would go get your own games, man.
Oh, man. How about you, Drew? How is the gaming world treating you at the moment?
Well, I've played a lot of games recently. Most of them I'm going to talk about later when we talk about some of the Christmas presents we got. But right now, I just want to say, of games that I already had, I've played a bit of Minecraft, not as much as I'd like to, but hopefully soon I'll be able to get back to recording and everything.
I'm hoping that we kind of have a lull in our server right now. I'm hoping a lot of people get back on after the holidays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah,
I will be very soon. Part of it is because my laptop overheats.
Right.
But
bursts into flames every time I try to play and whatnot.
Part of it is my desire not to be incinerated.
It's a minor inconvenience, but I don't like to deal with it.
Yeah, you know.
So yeah, played some Minecraft. I actually got double pranked on the Vintage Bee fan server.
Ah, yes, indeed.
I
was half of that. You're welcome.
Well, you were involved in all of it in a way.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So Matt pranked me, and then Caleb and Nehan came along and pranked both of us.
Orange Clay.
Orange Clay. Yeah.
So, I had a nice double prank that I cleaned up. Yeah, that was the main thing I did in Minecraft was the prank cleanup. I also have started playing Red Dead Redemption, and that game is so much fun. I was not expecting it to be that much fun. I'm not going to talk about it too much. It's an older game, and either you've played it and you know all about it, or you haven't played it and you might not ever. I don't know. So I got a bunch of Christmas presents. Most of them I've at least tried out. A couple of them haven't actually gotten a chance to play yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. So, I'll just go through an order of what I have. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. That's a little bit of an older open world RPG fantasy. It's really, really fun. It came out around the same time as Mass Effect 3, so it was kind of overlooked, but it's ridiculously fun, and I love it so much. Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Transformers games have always just been fun. I played War for Cybertron. Fall of Cybertron, I wanted to play it for a while, and now I got a chance to. And
I think I watched Zisto had done that one, right? That's the one where by the time you get to the end, you can choose between.
Did he play through the whole thing?
I think he did because
Did you just spoil it, Slash?
No, because I didn't finish my sentence.
I was gonna say, you were like, and if you make it all the way to the end, you can.
Well, like it is
just like,
it is an older game, but
I'm not sure what you were about to say, but in both War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, you play half the game as an Autobot and then half the game as a Decepticon, and you sort of get to see both sides of the story.
Okay, I might not be knowing for sure which one I'm talking about then.
Battlefield 4, obviously a new game that just recently came out.
Yeah, I want to play that one. I haven't gotten to play Battlefield at all.
It's definitely fun. I loved Battlefield 3, and I haven't played a whole lot of Battlefield 4. It's definitely very fun. The only thing that I've really noted that stands out for me, for something that I don't like, is they removed the pre-lobby party system, so you cannot join up with your friends and enter a match. You have to enter a match and hope that it's not full so you can invite your friends.
Oh, that's so good.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
I don't know.
I mean, they clearly would have had to have changed that on purpose.
Yeah,
right?
I know, and I don't understand that, and it just bugs me, because I actually got it at the same time as my brother-in-law. We really wanted to play together. We spent about 45 minutes trying to get into a game together, and then finally we switched over to Borderlands 2 and beat the Assault on Dragon's Keep DLC, which I forgot to mention that, and that's really fun. It's a kind of Borderlands 2 tribute to D&D and lots of fantasy stuff. But yeah, Battlefield 4 is still very fun. It's just frustrating if you're trying to play with friends. A couple of presents I sort of bought for myself during sales. I got Trials Evolution and Super Hexagon. Super Hexagon was 29 cents. And that is a very addicting game.
Holy cow, I've played that game so many hours whenever I had my old job. And I used to work for IT, and we would just sit there and wait for cases to come in, incident reports and whatever, and I would just Super Hexagon for hours. It was great.
So,
I have this twitch that every time I look to my left, I get this twitch. That's bad.
And then a couple more presents I got. I got Just Cause 2 for the PC, which actually has a multiplayer mod, which I've never played Just Cause 2, but I've seen, well, I guess I played a demo. I've seen it's just like crazy, random, like I don't care about the story. It's just like a crazy awesome game. And apparently there's a multiplayer mod where you're in a world with like hundreds of other people. So I can't even imagine what that's like, but it's going to be awesome. And then actually from Snow's game giveaway thing that he did.
Yeah.
I got Fable of the Lost Chapters. And I had actually played through all of Fable 3. And then I had gone back and I started playing through Fable 2 with a friend, and I don't actually own the game myself, so I never actually got around to beating it. But I saw that was one of the games I could sort of pick for the thing, and I'm just like, I love the Fable games. Why not get another
me too.
super long open world RPG that'll take me... Now I have just this whole stack of them that I'll maybe beat eventually.
Man, when I had the original Fable, do you remember when that came out and the first time you played that? I spent so long with that game.
Well, no, I never played it. That's why I wanted it.
The original one, though? That's different from the Lost Chapters, right?
It is? I thought Fable The Lost
I don't
Chapters
know.
was just Fable. That's what it looked like it was saying.
Oh, is it? I don't know, maybe. I don't think mine said The Lost Chapters on it. Maybe it did. I could be wrong. Either way.
Either way,
Like,
it'll still
whenever
be
I
fun.
very
It's
first...
Fable.
It is. When I first got that game, it was like, I mean, it was new back when I got it. And I got it and sat down, and I think I played that for like 3 weeks straight or something. I think I skipped school for 3 weeks and just played it.
And then I'll just go over a couple of other things that I got for Christmas real quick, and then we'll get to the other guys' stuff. I got a Blue Snowball mic, which I am recording with right now. I'm very happy with.
Yeah.
You sound great.
Yeah, you do sound much better, I will say.
Thanks. I think that's a compliment.
Yes, either that or your voice has somehow gotten clearer.
Either that
Your
or
voice
you're
is
just...
not so horrible anymore.
Yeah.
You used to have a lot of white noise coming out of your throat.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also got...
Gross.
I actually don't have it yet, but the reason I'm gonna be able to start recording again soon is for my birthday. My parents are getting me a new cooling pad for my laptop. My last one broke. This one is much nicer. It has like 4 USB ports attached to it, so I have additional USB ports as well as keeping a cool laptop, which will allow me to record for hours on end without having any frame rate issues. It's awesome.
Nice.
Couldn't you just like stick a sack of peas on it?
A hunk of raw meat.
Did you? I'm just that.
Raw
Did
steak
you
from
try
the
it?
Freezer. Yeah.
Yes. Have you tried it, Drew?
To be honest, no, I have not. But if there was a sack of
All
peas
right.
on it, I couldn't use the keyboard.
Not on it. You stick the computer on the sack of peas. Now you're kicking yourself because you spent money on a cooling pad.
Actually, I got it for my birthday, so
Either way, your parents could have saved some money on that, or whoever bought it for you.
until we ran out of frozen peas, we ate them all.
Yes. Well, no, you just have to refreeze them. Who eats their frozen peas anyway? I don't think anybody
Peas are
does.
gross.
You just have them in there. Yeah, you just have the frozen peas in there to heal yourself when you have bad injuries, or to cool your laptop.
That is true. I had when I was like 3 years old, my head got split open, and the
I'm not sure the frozen peas will help whenever something gets split open.
it was instead of an ice pack. But
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, moving
Surgeon
on.
Simulator 1999.
You have frozen peas and a CRT monitor.
I also, from my brother, once again, it's not done yet, or it's not here yet because I'm still working on the design with the awesome daughter said she would actually do it for me. So, because I
Yeah.
can't do
That's cool.
computer art. Anyway, I'm going to be getting a Drusen of the 43 t-shirt, just kind of like a baseball style shirt where it has the name and the number, Drusen 43. And,
I assumed.
yeah.
Jim Jones 16.
So,
Well, this is a weird present.
yeah. I'm really excited about it because that is like I really wanted that shirt to wear to PAX East when we go in April.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's coming
Really
up
excited.
real fast all of a sudden. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
I'm
once we
so
got past the new
excited.
year, it was like, oh my gosh, PAX is coming up.
Yep. The final big gift that I got that I wanted to talk about was my parents got me the Jack Ryan movie collection, which Jack Ryan is a Tom Clancy character, and apparently the Rainbow Six video games are based off of one of the Jack Ryan books, which I love those games. But the movies are Hunt for Red October, which is Alec Baldwin as Jack Ryan. And then Patriot Game.
Wait, I thought that was...
What?
Isn't that with Sean Connery?
Sean Connery's in it, but...
Am I thinking...
Yeah, Sean Connery's like the bad guy, isn't he?
Sean Connery's not the bad guy, but he is a Russian. Yes.
Well,
he's the captain of... If you've seen the movie, you know, but it's an old movie, but it's still a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it.
It's been a long...
Just
I've seen it, but it's been forever since I last saw it.
Yeah, we've got it in the VHS closet somewhere, I think.
What is this archaic technology you're referring to?
Yeah.
VHS?
So I still have one of those VHS tape rewinders. So you stick the VHS in the tape rewinder and you click rewind, and so you don't have to rewind it every time.
That was
awesome.
Real quick aside, but that was one of my favorite prank calls. When I used to work for Radio Shack, we would call other Radio Shacks up because we had no customers in the store, and we'd prank call them. And one of my favorite prank calls was to ask for a DVD rewinder. It was so funny because...
Was it at a certain time, like what is it at the time where nobody really knew if there was a DVD rewinder?
Well, it depended on who you got. Like if I got one of the older employees, they'd be like, "Oh no, let me explain to you. It's not like VHS. You don't have to rewind it, right?" But if I got one of like the
right.
the high school kids, right? You know, oh my gosh, they tried so hard because there's all this like sales associate training where you have to be like very patient with the customer, you know, and they would try so hard to like understand what are you actually looking for, what what do you need, you know, and I would just have a blast with that, you know. It's like, well, you know, when I'm done watching the DVD, I don't want to have to rewind it in the player, you know, I'm gonna wear out my player, I want to rewind it, you know, and the poor kids, they were like, so, yeah,
wow.
All right, is that all that was in your stocking, Drew?
Well, you have huge feet.
I was just gonna mention the other movies in the Jack Ryan collection.
Yeah.
So Patriot Games and A Clear and Present Danger with Harrison Ford, which those two I hadn't actually seen before, which was part of the reason my parents got it for me, because I was saying I really wanted to see those. And then finally, with Ben Affleck, it's The Sum of All Fears.
Oh, that's a good movie. That's Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah, Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman.
I always just say the other more famous older characters.
Yeah, I was just listing the people who were actually playing Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
So, but there's actually a big thing, or a big reason that I was sort of getting into this is coming out pretty soon. There's actually going to be a new Jack Ryan movie. And it's Jack Ryan Shadow Agent, I think. Agent of Shadow. I should probably look that up, but it's a
probably should have done my research before the podcast.
Chris Pine,
Shadow Recruit.
Shadow Recruit. That's it.
There you go.
Oh, so I did see promos for this because it's got Kirk in it.
Yeah, it's Chris Pine who played the new Kirk in Star Trek. But in the DVD box, I actually have a free movie ticket to go see that when it comes out. So
sweet.
I'm all set for my Jack Ryan movies. Yeah.
You've got them all. Let's see the relevant presents. Well, one of them. Can you guess what it is? I am wearing it on my head.
A blender.
Almost. Drew, do you have a guess?
I'm gonna guess, like, just totally out of the blue, it's like, I don't know, something to keep your head warm.
I guess it could keep my head warm.
Is it one of those hilarious, like, beer hats with the straw that goes down to your mouth? Please tell me that it is.
Yes, with a blender on top.
You can make mobile smoothies.
Right, and it does keep your head warm if you make something warm. Yes, you guys are correct. Actually, no, it's a pair of headphones.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was actually thinking you really meant a hat.
No, it's a pair of headphones. I needed a new pair of headphones for so long, man. My old one, where it was a free pair of headphones I got with an electronic drum set like 5 years ago, and they had like the cushiony part was starting to peel off and stick to the side of my head.
Oh, no.
So whenever I took them off, I'd have like black flakes of cushiony headphone bit on my hair and in my ear and stuff. Yeah, and so I'd always feel self-conscious. I feel like I almost ripped my ears off a couple times trying to get it all out. That's gross. And then, okay, so, yeah, I talked about I'm gonna start recording The Last of Us. Actually, have started recording. I've got 3 episodes recorded already, but not uploaded. But at the time this goes out, I think they will have been uploaded, which is exciting. But anyway, I got a new capture card. The AverMedia, I think it's Game Broadcaster HD or something, allows me to record 1080p from any console or anything with an HDMI output, which is very, very exciting to me. Yeah. So I'll be able to do PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One.
You have all of those?
No. I have 2 out of those 4, but I'm sure I'll get the other 2 eventually.
Okay.
And then I got money for a microphone because the person who gave me the money decided they knew nothing about microphones. So they said, get what you want. And so I'll be getting a Blue Yeti, probably.
Very nice.
Which is exciting. Yeah, so quality on my channel just skyrocketed.
Wow. Yeah, I'm falling behind the curve now because I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think, but my microphone is the USB singer style microphone that comes with Rock Band or came with Rock Band.
Oh, really?
Back
Seriously?
In the day. Yeah. And
That's hilarious.
It actually doesn't sound that bad.
I was really surprised at how well it worked because if I had not been able to get this kind of quality out of it, I don't think I would have bothered. I would have gone out and I would have bought one. But I've got this, let's see if this microphone works. And I just plugged it in and Linux found it okay. And I've got, my wife has this black metal, music stand and I have it like tilted at a 45-degree angle and the microphone is laying on the corner of it, pointing across the front of my face, and the cord just lays across there and then loops back around and plugs into the computer, and that's what I've been...
Slash.
Talk about a ghetto recording setup.
It is super ghetto, yeah, and...
Look at Drew feeling all high and mighty with this blue snowball over
and my headphones are the crummy little earbuds that you get with an iPod, so I'm rocking an amazing... recording setup.
Yeah, I actually don't mind those. I'm okay with the earbuds.
Yeah, they're all right.
Snow, you say that about my microphone, and that's true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't even have a desk. I am on my bed with a board across my lap.
Well, okay, I've already told you guys this, but I am in the closet right now. So I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. I think
I'm just
Snow
sitting in my
wins this
closet
one.
recording this podcast.
Yeah.
Eventually I'm going to have to come out of the closet, which is the saddest part.
My equipment may be kind of ghetto, but I'm at least sitting in a room that's actually called an office in my house. So, yeah.
The perks of being an adult.
Oh, man.
Anyway, that's fun. So what else? So have we talked about what you're getting yet, Slash?
Or what
you
Christmas
got?
stuff. No, we haven't. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention. The first one's real quick, and I know Drew will get a kick out of this one, but I recorded one of my rare Vine videos on it because I thought it was so cool. In my stocking, I got a set of chocolate dice. Like the different size dice, like D4, D68 that you use for like D&D. Except they're molded out of chocolate. They were like, poured into dice-shaped molds.
That's pretty awesome.
Too useful.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Like the next time I sit down to play D&D with my friends, I think I'm gonna take it along, and I'm gonna like roll them a couple of times, and then the first time I get a roll that I don't like, I'll eat it, and and then it's gone.
Can you tell that they're made out of chocolate?
Yeah, you can definitely tell they're made out of chocolate, and I don't know how well balanced they are. So
yeah, they might just melt if you're in a warm enough place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so far so good though. I mean, they've been. I guess they've been tempered well enough that they haven't melted. But I got a big kick out of that.
That's awesome.
I think it'd be cool if they looked like hard shell candies and you just couldn't tell they were dice at all.
Oh yeah.
And then you were playing with your friends and you just picked them up and ate them.
Like it with an M&M style coating on them. That would be much cooler.
Yeah.
I bet you somewhere out there on the internet you can find a place that'll do those. But
freaks and people.
I might have to do some research now because that sounds like a hilarious prank idea. But let's see what else. I also got I don't know if you've heard of this book S by J.J. Abrams. I first heard about it. He was a guest on the Colbert Report one night promoting this book. The book is an amazing concept. It's actually it's a story within a story, or sort of like there are two parallel stories going on. The way that he has it presented, you get it in like a box, and when you pull the book out of the box, the book itself is actually called, I forget exactly what the title of it is, but it's about some ship, I think, the Ship of Theseus. I think that's the title of the actual story. But the way that it's presented is it's as if that was a library book that two college students, one I think that's a graduate student and one that's an undergrad, sort of were passing back and forth as part of their coursework that they were using this book or analyzing this book. And they have like notes written to each other in it. And you'll find like there's like papers folded up in it, and apparently there's like you'll find like ticket stubs and stuff. It's like renting, you're like borrowing a book from the library, and it has all these signs of previous readers. And so you not only do you get the story of the actual book, but you also get the story of these two college students that were reading it, and they're exchanging these notes back and forth. To give you an idea of just how intriguing it is, so far all I've had the chance to read has been the title page, which generally the title page you're like, yep, that's the same title that was on the cover, and you turn the page, But this has they have these notes written to each other back and forth on the title page, and there's a significant amount of information on that first page, and it's just a really neat concept. So I look forward to digging into that the more. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention, and this is just a funny story, is my wife got me the Wind Waker. Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD for the Wii U.
One of the greatest games ever made.
And this re-release in HD is for the Wii U, which is amusing because we don't own a Wii U.
I was gonna say you guys have a Wii, right?
All we have is a regular Wii, and my wife just didn't pick up on that. So that's gonna get returned. We're gonna figure something else out for that. But it was really funny because I open it, I'm like, oh, Wind Waker, and I go, uh-oh, and she goes, what? I'm like, this is for the Wii.
That's always the worst, man. I always feel so bad when that kind of stuff happens. Like, somebody legitimately tried and got something they knew you would like, and then it's not compatible with whatever you're doing. You're just like, oh.
Yeah, this close. Yeah. But,
you have to take it back and go through that whole sad process.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a Christmas tradition for me to get a Zelda game. Because I think last year I got Skyward Sword, and the year before that I got Twilight Princess. Both of which...
What are your opinions on Twilight Princess, just real quick?
Twilight...
There's a very mixed opinion of it.
Twilight Princess, I thought was... I didn't find the story to be very strong in that one. And some of the game mechanics I didn't think really worked. Honestly, it felt to me like, having then played Skyward Sword, it felt to me like the game mechanics in Twilight Princess were trying to do what they ended up being able to do in Skyward Sword with the Wii Motion Plus stuff.
Yeah, I think it's almost like they kind of put the ball on the tee for Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Because it was so... I mean, I'm pretty sure Twilight Princess came out when the Wii was still fairly new, didn't it?
Yeah, but it was a very early title for that console. And I think they had these aspirations to do these amazing things, like, hey, we've got something that you can wave around and it works like a sword, and we should have Link's, the Master Sword move around with that, and then without the Wii Motion Plus technology in place, it really didn't work that well. You couldn't really do that, so then they had to scale back some of that stuff, I think. I mean, this is all conjecture, but that's what it felt like to me. It felt like they mechanically had to push out an incomplete product, or a product that didn't reach their original goals.
See, and I didn't have that opinion until I read a lot of other people with that opinion. And I don't know, I guess I got used to the early Wii titles where it was just like everything was just terrible controls, and I got used to it most of the time, but I played Wii Sports forever and that are the worst controls ever.
That's true.
But I don't know. I think I ended up liking Twilight Princess, but yeah, Skyward Sword kind of blows it out of the water.
Skyward Sword is I mean, my favorite for the longest time was Ocarina of Time, but I think Skyward Sword beat Ocarina of Time for me. I think just overall, the story behind it and the game mechanics that they added in, and there's just so much there that's just fantastic. It's definitely of that caliber.
Zelda's always in its own category for me, so I always rate it on a scale of 1 to Zelda. Like how Zelda is this Zelda.
Yeah.
And Skyward Sword is very Zelda.
I concur.
Not having played Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess is actually my favorite Legend of Zelda game.
Really?
That is the first Legend of Zelda game I actually got the chance to play. I originally played it on a GameCube, which had the older controls, and it wasn't as good as the Wii version with some of the features that it had. And then more recently, I had been watching Zeldathon like a year ago, and I got really excited about Legend of Zelda again. And I'm like, I've never actually really got into these games very much. And so I want to do that. And so I got Twilight Princess for the Wii because my friend had a Wii, and that was the only way I knew how to play it. So I would go over to his house and we would take turns playing. And I still haven't beat the game, but that's the one I've played the most of, and I absolutely love it.
That's why it's your favorite. You gotta try the other
Yes.
Well, I have played Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and I enjoy both of them.
Yeah, but
going
back to those is, I mean, you've got to play the new one. Because going back to, the Wind Waker is definitely one of my favorites, but going back to it and playing it on the GameCube and just the fact that it's like an old game now, I don't know. There's something about getting the brand new one and playing it and just being blown away by it.
I'm sure it would be fun. I absolutely love Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I think you'll absolutely love the Skyward Sword.
There's something to be said that, I mean, you tend to latch on to the first title that you actually play. I mean, the first Zelda game that I played with any real worth to it was Ocarina of Time. I played The Adventure of Link, and when I was young and didn't have any idea how to play most video games. Like, it was, I played the very first, I got to the first dungeon and died every time kind of thing. So that wasn't a positive experience for me, but that was my first Zelda game and didn't end up holding anything for me. So the first one that I was able to play with any real skill behind it was Ocarina of Time, and it still holds a special place as a result. But Drew, I gotta highly recommend to you, Drew, that if you get a chance to play Skyward Sword, that you do so, because it is I think it's one of the pinnacles of just what Zelda is all about.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's from 1 to Zelda. It's very Zelda.
Yeah.
There's no other way to rate Zelda. It's just like
completely with you.
I just wanted to say my only complaint I've had with Twilight Princess is that they made Link right-handed for the Wii version, which is the one that I've been playing. And Link is always left-handed, and he's even left-handed in the GameCube version. It's just the Wii version, they made him right-handed, and that bothers me.
Really? Huh.
I can't say that I had noticed that one way or the other.
Obscure fact of the day from...
We are in the new year, so did you guys make any New Year's resolutions for 2014?
Wait. What year? Okay, 2014. Yes. Sorry, they all run together.
So, Drew, do you want to start? Do you have any resolutions?
Nope.
All right. Snow?
I just don't really do those.
That was hilarious.
Like,
yeah. I don't usually either. I have one or two this year, but I'm usually in the same boat as you, Drew, where I just
basically
don't.
My opinion is when I was younger, people would ask me if I had one, and like the first time I ever heard about it, I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But it was sort of like conveyed to me that, oh, this is what everyone does. You should make these. But I never like really did anything that I would like. I'd do stuff when I was younger, like be nicer to my siblings. And
those are so empty though.
Well, it's true. It's like as I grow as a person, like I am going to, like hopefully just do better. Kind of, but
yeah, without the excuse of needing to start a year or whatever. Yeah,
right. Yeah, exactly. So that's I just don't do New Year's resolutions.
And honestly, I probably don't either. But I think I had a good one this year for my channel because I'm always trying to think of good ways to get more interaction and involvement with my channel. And one of them I realized was probably on me. Like I'm continuously trying to increase my quality. Because I think that's one of the biggest things with a YouTube channel is getting good, intros and art and everything.
Right.
And then making sure that your quality is good on your microphone and everything, which is why I'm constantly buying new stuff. But the other portion of that I think I've been ignoring is my schedule and my consistency. I think that's another really big part of YouTube that I've been kind of putting on the back burner. So my New Year's resolution is I actually made a new upload schedule that you guys can check out at bit.ly/snowshoeupload. If you guys are interested. I gotta figure out a way. It doesn't look very good right now. It's just the standard Google Calendar. But, yeah, so I think I'm gonna try to upload everything a lot more regularly so that I can get some people to watch my stuff more.
Just remember, as a general rule for that sort of thing, you don't want to be like, okay, I have to get out a video and then just be like, hey guys, I don't really feel like recording today, but I have to. Like...
Yeah, that's the thing is that, most of the time it's just I don't schedule my recording time correctly. So that's why I end up, putting off videos for days. So I think in a lot of the time I will have ideas. Like the hardest series to record for me is the VBFS, just because it requires a lot of creativity and a lot of forethought.
Right.
And I always have ideas like throughout the week of what I want to do. And then when it comes to record, I'm just like, well, I don't know what I want to do. So I like actually making a time when I'm supposed to record, and then I can go back to the calendar and write down notes on what I'm going to do for that night's recording and everything. I think that's really going to help.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's one of the toughest things is trying to have some sort of consistency, because it is, it is a big draw, I think, to a channel if people can expect, like, oh, on a certain day, I will get a certain content.
Right. And I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, I was like, whenever you were younger and you used to watch, like, Hey Arnold or whatever, how often would you watch Hey Arnold if it didn't come on the same time every day after school? Probably not very often. So I think consistency has a huge part to play in it. What about you, Slash? Any, resolutions? Revolutionary resolutions? Resolutionary revolutions?
Wow. Well, I don't know if I have anything quite that crazy. But I actually recently released a VBFS episode on this. The main resolution that I've got, the only real resolution that I've got this year, is just trying to get in better shape. I want to lose a fairly significant amount of weight. My end goal is to drop about 70 pounds. I'm 250 right now, and I'd like to get down around the 180 mark if I can. 200 I'll accept. But I'm just not happy with my current weight. And so I put it out there on the VBFS episode. I'm putting it out there now, for multiple reasons. One, I feel like if I'm telling as many people as I can that I'm gonna do it, then I have to do it.
Yep, that's kind of the same thing with me. I want to tell my viewers that I'm gonna keep on a schedule, so yeah.
And the other thing is, I'm hoping for, supportive feedback from folks. I mean, putting out, my overweightness on the internet is kind of troll bait, but I think, I'm a small enough channel and small enough, user base and whatnot that I'm not expecting to get any real hate for it. But,
yeah.
In general, I think people will be pretty supportive, because obviously, I mean, it's something that you're doing to make yourself better, which is very admirable.
And I really feel like if I don't make it as public a thing as possible, then I'm not going to stick with it. Because I mean, I've tried to do better with diet and exercise before, and I just I don't stick with it. I end up just kind of wimping out on it, and I'm the only one that was holding myself accountable for that before. And now I've sort of pledged to give updates in my videos, like, oh, here's how I'm doing, this is what I weighed in at, and and if I'm updating people on that, and I stop giving updates, hopefully somebody will go, hey, we haven't heard any updates on your weight loss recently, and I go,
sign me up. I'm good at keeping people accountable.
Oh, there you go. So I'll count on you. You
do
if
it.
you don't hear from me on updates for a while,
I will set your house on fire or something.
So yeah, that's my plan.
Let's do it.
Plus, it's with I got young kids, and I got another one on the way. It's any moment now, pretty much. Due mid February. So it makes it a little bit easier to keep up with them, because their energy level's through the roof. So I want to try and get better fit so that I can keep up with them a little bit more, instead of being like, nope. I played one slightly physical game, and now I'm going to take a nap for 3 hours, and, and you can't interact with me anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so yeah.
That's awesome.
Fingers crossed. Hoping to be able to stick with it better this time. My wife's very supportive on that too, and especially once the baby's born, she's gonna have a weight loss goal as well that she's gonna want to be going with, and so she's supporting me in making sure that there's healthy food to eat in the house, and healthy snack foods, that I'm not tempted to go for like candy bars and that sort of thing, and and then trying to exercise together, go on walks once the weather turns warmer and that sort of thing. So I'm lucky to have her available.
That should be exciting.
For emotional support.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that whenever you get down to it and you actually start to do it and you feel the progress you're making, it becomes a lot easier.
You just got to get the momentum.
You kind of, I run a lot, and whenever I'm not running, I can't ever get motivated to do it. But whenever you like see your time decrease and you get addicted to that kind of like, man, I want to do better, then that's when it really starts to get fun.
Yeah.
I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this
anyway.
Couch to 5K program. I don't know if you've heard of,
Ooh.
but it's a thing where it's like, I think they intend for you to run, or you start out walking, and then work your way up to running, and it's like 3 days a week for 9 weeks or something like that. There's a schedule like, okay, the first day you set a walking pace and you walk for 20 minutes or something. But yeah, I'm hoping with you guys' support and the support of listeners, viewers, and especially my wife, that I'll be able to stick with it better this time and get fit.
Yeah, good luck. I think you'll be able
Thanks.
to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've also had another New Year's revelation, though.
Well,
right?
I guess you could call it that. In an effort to just try and consolidate the budget where we could.
Consolidate money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We finally made the decision to drop our cable down to the lowest, and this is the dumbest thing ever. We have FiOS. We have Verizon FiOS for TV and internet, and it was the same with Comcast when we were with Comcast. For some dumb reason, these companies, we have the TV and we have the internet, and I contacted their customer support and I said, I'd really like to just drop the TV to save some money, and they look it over, and it's actually cheaper to retain the television at the lowest package, which is like local channels only. It's like your broadcast, your CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox type stuff, than it is to get rid of the TV altogether. Because somehow, because you're packaging the TV and the internet together, they apply some sort of discount automatically in the system for using two of their services. It doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like you as a company are doing more work to provide me with these services than if you were to just drop the TV altogether. But yeah, I have to pay you more to not receive service. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. But anyway, that's where we went. And then we subscribed to the streaming only Netflix option, which is like $8 a month. We ended up saving like $25 a month or something like that in bills as a result of that. And so far it's been working out pretty well. We found that pretty much everything we had been DVRing and watching on TV we can find online anyway. Legitimately, not just like torrent or whatever. I mean, you can go to Hulu and you can watch that stuff, and the kids can go to like Disney Junior and Disney Channel websites to pull up those shows, and so there's very, very little. I think the only thing, my wife did all the research, and I think she determined the only shows that we could not get from the internet were Food Network shows. Pretty much everything else we were watching, no matter what the network was, is available in some form online.
You will find there are some shows that delay the online stuff.
This is true. Yeah.
And that can sometimes be a pain. Like for me, I've been waiting for season 7 of Doctor Who for like over a year.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, that's part of the downside of it. But I mean, we sort of, we just looked at it's the better value, I think, is the decision that we reached.
No, I definitely agree.
And what's amazing is, like, since we turned on the Netflix thing, we've been watching so much Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yep.
Because the kids are old enough, like my son is old enough now where he can sort of appreciate, the action elements of it anyway. Obviously not the philosophical discussions or anything like that, but he can appreciate the show on a level that's pretty close to where I was when I first started watching it. It started in '87, so I would have been 5 when it first started. I probably started catching it on broadcast television when I was 6 or 7, which is about his age. So it's kind of neat seeing him, dive into the same aspects of the show that I once dove into. I hear him in the back seat of the car as we're driving places, and he's talking to his 3-year-old sister, and he's like, drop out of warp, get me a sensor lock. So it's pretty darn cute.
Make it so.
Yeah. Engage, and all of that stuff. So we've nearly completed watching the entire first season, and we're probably gonna just watch every single one of those all the way through to the end, and then pick up like DS9 or Voyager or something like that, and continue with it through there. And we also found The Adventures of Merlin, which had been on like NBC or something once upon a time, and then transitioned over to some cable only network, and we lost track of it, and we were shocked to discover that there were 5 seasons on Netflix of that show. So
The Adventures of Merlin?
Yeah, it's feels very much like a BBC kind of production.
Well, there is a BBC America show it's just called Merlin.
Yeah, no, this is The Adventures of Merlin. It has what's his name? Anthony Head? Is that what it is? I can't remember what the guy's name was. He was Giles on Buffy. It's got him as King Uther. And like Merlin is a young man who's just sort of starting out with magic, and he's being sort of led by the court physician. So it's quite it's quite a good show. We had seen most of the first season. We finished up the first season on Netflix, and we're going through season 2 now. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the decision, and it's nice being able to just sit down and pull up whatever without having to worry about whether we have things recorded.
I just I just went on IMDb and searched The Adventures of Merlin, and I clicked on the first one that came up, and it takes me to the page that it just says Merlin, and it's the show I was talking about, and it has that same actor as Uther. So we're talking about the same show, but for some reason, I only know it as Merlin, and you know it is The Adventures of Merlin.
It comes up a couple of different ways, because I'm on the Wikipedia site too, and apparently it's known both ways. It's known as simply Merlin and The Adventures of Merlin. So, okay. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
And I never continued. I watched up to season 3, and then it was a good show, but I had other stuff that I'd rather be watching.
Yeah. All right. You had something you wanted to talk about regarding Burn Notice?
Yeah. I just wanted to say Burn Notice is just like most of the USA shows. Burn Notice is a really fun show. I watched it for a while, and then I got a little confused by the way the plot was going, and it got a little boring in my opinion. But I recently ran out of like the current shows that are playing on Hulu. I don't have anything that I'm currently watching on there. And so I randomly decided to start watching Burn Notice again. And it took me a little bit to remember where I had left off, but I love the show again, and it's just such a fun, like, action show. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's,
I just can't handle, I watched that show, the way, the dude's face, what's the main guy's name?
Gabriel Macht. That's the actor who plays the main character.
What's the main character's name?
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. What's his last name? It's like Byrne, isn't it, or something? Weston. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's right. Michael Weston. His face doesn't move right. I don't know what it is. It's like he'll look at you and he has no expression from his nose up. He just doesn't move, and
he has
stuff.
a very deadpan, like, serious face, but I absolutely love that show. And
I couldn't get past that. It was like every time something cool was happening, he was just sitting there and his eyebrows weren't moving, and I was like, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
He's supposed to be just like this serious CIA operative that, like, he doesn't
He's a robot.
ever show feelings. Well, it's because he's been in the CIA for so many years.
Yeah. It's a good show. I liked it, though. So we also did something... We did something for your birthday.
Yes.
As a small community thing.
I did, I invited a bunch of friends to play UHC just because I absolutely love UHC and hadn't played it in a while. And, Matt dubbed it Drew HC.
That's hilarious. We need to make a soundboard, and we need the... Did you guys ever watch Alf?
Oh,
No.
I did, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. He's got, like... We need an Alf laugh for the soundboard. It's like, ha ha! Yeah, something like that. That needs to be on there.
But yes.
Yes. Not a whole lot to say about that. Don't want to give too many spoilers because videos are... People did record. I was not actually able to record because of my laptop being on fire.
I was going to say because of the pyrotechnics that would have resulted.
But all I can say is my team. I really enjoyed having Slash and my friend Jack from the AlphaCraft server. I really enjoyed having them on my team, but right from the very start, we did not communicate well as a team.
Right.
And
The
See, I
results
think
are entertaining.
I think.
yeah, it's very entertaining. It's just you don't really want to watch it if you're looking for skill.
Yeah, I'm sure people want to come to my channel for skill. Tons of skill involved over here. Don't worry, guys, I got you.
But yeah, some
see, I don't.
Yeah.
I did.
So I was just gonna say, some folks I believe are releasing like episodic releases, and then some of us are doing, like I'm doing, just a highlights video, probably at some point past that. So we'll try and get some more information on that. Probably, I would imagine that the next time that the podcast comes out, next episode of that, we'll probably have the final details of that by then, that we can link to everything.
Well, by the next time the podcast comes out, it'll already have started to come out. I believe the first episode is going to come out a week from Monday, so it'll be January 11th, I believe. So you can look at... I know somebody on my team that was recording, I think he's going to do episodes is... I don't know if you know his YouTube channel, Drew, but Bailey...
Oh yeah, W33 Lewis is his YouTube channel.
Well, that's different. I called him Bailey because
that's his Minecraft name. That's what he goes by. I'm actually not sure where the Lewis comes from, but that's his.
I'd assume it's his last name, but
that's his YouTube.
Yeah.
I
think he's gonna do full episodes and then a couple other guys, but we'll figure that out for you guys. That was a lot of fun though. I didn't know I had Fallen Angel 78 and Bailey on my team. We did teams of 3, 4 teams of 3. And just it was pretty
very
cool.
Good. I mean, it was similar to one that Drew had hosted previously, where it's some AlphaCraft members, some VBFS folks, and I don't know, was there anybody from any other servers or origins this time?
Eric was gonna be there again, but he couldn't last minute. He had to drop out. So, and
I know that in the the VBFS Skype chat that we have going, a couple of people like Daughter expressed interest in doing some more UHC type stuff, because it kind of reawakened that. It's been a while since we had done PvP type stuff.
Yeah, there's just something about UHC. I mean, it's always been that way, and it's just that intensity. You don't find that anywhere else in Minecraft, or I mean, for the most part, for very many other games. Like, your palms don't get as sweaty and your heart doesn't beat as fast as they do when you're playing UHC and you're fighting somebody or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, or you're taking damage and you've got 1 heart left or something. You're just like, holy crap, man, I can't handle this.
Most of the time while I'm actually playing, I don't feel like nervous or anything while I'm actually playing, but afterwards, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that took so much, because you're just sitting there staring at your screen for like 3 hours and you're just concentrating, and
as Drew comes down from the adrenaline high and gets the shakes.
Yep, I know. Man, I always do after UHC.
Heads out of the room with legs wobbling underneath him, yeah.
I had to record after this UHC, and I had to take a couple of hours because I was too amped up. And it's always, you're always amped up right to the very end because you die, and it's like, dying is the most adrenaline-inducing thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say, the final moments of Matt's video should be quite amusing.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch your guys' perspective. That I know what happened, and that it could be very intense.
What happened and the conversation that preceded it, I think, is makes for an amusing juxtaposition. But
yeah, you got to include all that.
And that being said, I think the final moments of the UHC were also some of the most amazing things that I have witnessed in game. So it made it was a fantastic conclusion. So look forward to that in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I know I'll watch it.
Well, I think we've reached that point. We unfortunately don't have any questions from you guys this week. Shame on you.
Come on, guys. How many? We had like 35 views last week, and not one of those 35 people gave us a question.
Really, I actually didn't check the views. That's pretty awesome.
We did pretty good.
I don't actually know. It was somewhere around there, Matt.
I don't remember off the top of my head, and I'm in I guess I can get out of the the podcast account and go check.
We did reach the end of the doc.
Yes,
but yeah.
If you would like to submit a question for the next podcast, that would be much appreciated. The email that you can send your question to is demguyspodcast. Snow, do you want to do your DEMGUYSPODCAST? Yeah, at gmail.com. And just put podcast question in the subject line of the email and submit your question. And something I hadn't mentioned before is you could actually, if you have a name you want us to call you, so we're not, if like your email says your actual name or whatever, like if you want to use your YouTube name, or even if you just want to say anonymous or whatever, so we can say who asked the question. So, yeah, that's it for this episode of Dem Guys. Glad you guys could join us.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, to the day. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.